Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is David Novak. The lovely Pat at Book Chat with Pat has been tossing out tags left and right, and I thought that I should do my part to provide some turnabout, and I am trying to do back-to-back filming of tags today. That is not to say that I don't have other tags in the wings, which I am in arrears on. I hope to do them all. I have an evening free, and so I will take a stab at it. I will schedule them successively on my channel. This is the classical music tag, which was created by Will Chambers, and it consists of 4 prompts. Number 1, Edvard Grieg, Peter Gynt, Suite Number 1, Op. 46, Morning Mood. What type of book, be it fiction, nonfiction, prose, or poetry, could or do you read first thing in the morning? Alternatively, if you're not a morning reader, what book do you think has a great morning scene? Unfortunately, when it comes to things like the alternative, what book has a great morning scene, I am the type of reader upon whom nothing sticks. So I may have read a dozen great morning scenes in my life, and I don't remember a single one of them. So fortunately, I do not need to go to the alternative in this case. I will answer the first part. Since January, I have been dedicating myself to reading mammoth books. And that being the case, I try to start off every morning with the mammoth du jour, I guess, or the mammoth du, how do you say month? The mammoth of the month, the mammoth of the moment. Now it happens to be Les Mis, although since going to the eclipse in Franklin, Indiana, I have hardly opened the pages. I am not totally loving the book. I do like the book, but since I have read a couple of other mammoths earlier this year, I feel like I may have taken too much upon myself to be reading yet another mammoth. But I am going to forge ahead with it and see what it gets me. This is not the edition I'm reading. This is an updated version of the famous Wilbauer translation, and I am reading the Wilbauer translation itself. I've looked at the Doniger translation and did not care for it. Number 2, Richard Wagner, Walkürenritt, Ride of the Valkyries, a book you enjoyed where the protagonist dies or an important death/funeral takes place. Well, here again, I realize I am hampered by an inability to recall things. However, Pat chose Hamlet for hers, and I decided to go a similar route and venture into drama. Now, drama, of course, is built upon such stuff. I think I left a comment with her that, of course, Julius Caesar has a famous funeral oration. Nothing becomes the stage so well as a laid out corpse and persons talking. So I did not go with that, and I also did not go with Antigone. I saw a horrible version of the play at Court Theater earlier this year. But as you know, that drama revolves around a death. And it just so happens that when I was at Circle Campus, I saw a student production in the lunchroom that was one of the best things I've ever seen. Although our professional theater companies in Chicago do not always understand this. The great plays, the more you add to them, the less they become. And so that initial Antigone, which I saw, which consisted of actors, that did the job marvelously, whereas court theater's travesty tried to bring in so much stuff. It was not at the Barbara Gaines level of having magic tricks or Frank Sinatra songs, but nevertheless. No, I'm not going with Antigone or Julius Caesar. I am going to go with the Peony Pavilion. It is also drama, and the death of Du Liang figures prominently in the story. I apologize, I don't remember the tones of her voice, her name. In this translation, Cyril Birch had the misfortune to translate her name as Bridal Dew, which was kind of grating upon the ear. And just to mention to you, I have done my own version of this, which you can find at my Lulu page. It's not a translation, it's a retelling in my own terms of the classic tale. Number 3, Johann Pachelbel, Canon and Gigue in D major. Canon. Which book did you enjoy which has a wedding that you wish you could attend? Well, I know Shakespeare has a couple of famous or infamous weddings in his plays. Those are also scenes upon which the theater is built. But I decided not to go there, and I can't recollect offhand any weddings, but I thought that I would look into some poetry. Of course, the poem by John Keats, Lamia, has a wedding scene, but I don't like that poem, so I'm not going to say that. There is Spenser's famous poem in which he celebrates his own forthcoming wedding, Epithalamion, if that is how you say it. And I wonder if this is the one that T.S. Eliot used. No, this isn't. Ye learned sisters, I would be best reading it from here, because that edition has the old orthography, and it's very hard to read. Here, let me get, and a good old anthology would have automatically included the 2 poems of Spenser, which I'm going to be talking about. So, Epithalamion. Ye learned sisters, which have oftentimes been to me aiding others to adorn, whom ye thought worthy of your graceful rhymes, that even the greatest did not greatly scorn. To hear their names sung in your simple lays, but joyed in their praise, and when ye list your own mishaps to mourn, which death or love or fortune's wreck did raise, your string could soon to sadder tenor turn, and teach the woods and waters to lament your doleful dreariment. Now lay those sorrowful complaints aside, and having all your heads with garland crowned, help me mine own love's praises to resound, ne let the same of any be envied. So Orpheus did for his own bride. So I unto myself alone will sing, the woods shall to me answer, and my echo ring. So that is the first of his poems. It would have been a hoot to be at his wedding, I am sure. The great advocate of genocide himself, but I imagine a good time was had by all. And of course, the second one is a poem which he wrote for the wedding of a pair of couples of nobles. prothalamion. And let me again pull that out from here if I can. And this is the one that T.S. Eliot used a little bit from In the Wasteland. Calm was the day, and through the trembling air, sweet breathing Zephyrus did softly play a gentle spirit that lightly did delay hot Titan's beams, which then did glister fair, when I, whom sullen care, through discontent of my long fruitless stay in prince's court, and expectation vain of idle hopes, which still do fly away like empty shadows, did afflict my brain, walked forth to ease my pain along the shore of silvery streaming Thames, whose rutty bank, the which his river hems, was painted all with variable flowers, and all the meads adorned with dainty gems, fit to deck maidens' bowers, and crown their paramours against the bridal day, which is not long. Sweet Thames, run softly till I end my song. So a little bit of poetry thrown in there, which nobody asked for. It would be nice to have attended those weddings as well. Number 4, Gustav Holst, The Planets, Op. 32, 4, Jupiter, the Bringer of Jollity, a book or series which poignantly moves through phases. Well, I lazed out on that and went for Dante. There are, of course, 4 phases in this book. The first and shortest being limbo, the second being hell or inferno, the third being purgatory, and the fourth being paradise. So those are clearly demarcated phases in the narrative. I am sure that there are other books which offer more appropriate phases to this tag, but I cannot think of those. So this is my version of the classical music tag, and I'm going to tag some people. I'm going to tag Nathan at Nathan's Nook. I don't think I've ever seen Nathan do a tag, and I don't think he does them. Nathan, do not feel obligated to do this tag. But if you do, I expect you to put on something a little better than what I have here. And I am also going to tag MJ at Reading This Life. Of course, I believe everybody knows MJ. I don't think she has done this one yet. A big proponent of newbie and new booktubers. If you're looking to see what's happening, I heartily recommend her channel as well as a lot of other delightful content. Pat, thank you very much for tagging me. I will put the prompts in the description box below. Thank you for stopping by my channel.